Oh, buddy, grab your coffee with 2 creams and 2 sugars and get ready, because something huge just happened in Canada. It was so wild, it made rich people in Ottawa super upset. It surprised big bank guys on Bay Street and made Mark Carney cry into his fancy, expensive handkerchief. The 2025 election turned into a big mess with people arguing over votes. And now it's the most exciting political story of our time. And right in the middle of it all isn't the fancy guy with a suit. Nope. It's a strong, honest woman who doesn't back down, Governor General Mary freaking Simon. And right next to her, staying cool, calm, probably holding a Rebel News article and a school book about money, is the guy everyone's watching, Pierre Poilievre, the Prime Minister people chose, whether the government likes it or not. Now let's go back a bit. Canadians all across the country thought Pierre was going to win easily. He had big crowds, great support, good numbers, and lots of excitement that made Justin Trudeau's selfies look old and boring. Pierre's rallies were like hockey games with loud cheering. Alberta was all in. Saskatchewan was fully blue. Even Ontario was starting to turn against the Liberals, and even in Quebec, people were saying, wow, this guy's got it. Then, boom. On election night, just when everyone was checking their phones waiting for a big Conservative win, the CBC showed a surprise headline: Liberal win, Carney takes minority. Huh? People across Canada almost choked on their poutine. What just happened? Did someone mess up counting the votes? Did Trudeau wear a costume and vote 12 million times from some island? It didn't make any sense. Mark Carney, a guy who never even got voted in, suddenly won a bunch of places by teeny tiny amounts. In Newfoundland, he won by just 1 vote. In Halton Hills, tons of extra early votes suddenly showed up. More than a Toronto Maple Leafs fan hopes in October. In Vancouver South, they had more votes than people. That's not a fair election. That's like a crazy bingo game gone wrong. And don't even talk about Quebec, where someone mixed up addresses and tossed ballots wherever they wanted. Oh, you live in Saguenay, close enough to Sherbrooke? This wasn't a real election. It was like a circus with Carney flipping around, hoping the news would clap and call it unity. But here's where things got serious, because someone stood up and said, enough. It wasn't the CBC. It wasn't some unnamed person from the Toronto Star. It was our strong and serious Governor General Mary Simon. She's not just some fancy lady who cuts ribbons at events. Mary Simon, the first Indigenous Governor General of Canada, decided she wasn't going to just sit there and let powerful people use her for their games. No way. She looked at all the vote problems, the court fights, and the 11 places where the results were super sketchy, and she said, hold on, we're not picking a winner yet. Carney's smile disappeared faster than job ads after a Liberal budget. He thought he'd walk into the fancy house, shake some hands, and get the keys to Canada easy peasy. But Mary Simon, strong like the North, stood there, the last person standing between Canada and total chaos. People say Carney came in ready for a photo, but left looking like he failed a school test, all pale and shocked, probably mumbling about confusing economic stuff while Mary told him the truth in both English and Inuktitut. Picture it, Carney, the favorite of the rich global crowd, getting up totally owned by a woman who actually knows what Canadians really care about. Meanwhile, Pierre Poilievre, the smart guy with glasses who talks a lot about money, didn't start yelling or blaming others. Nope, he acted like a real leader. He hit the road, shook hands, talked to people, held open meetings, and most importantly, he asked for the truth. He said, Let the judges handle it. Let's count every vote the right way. That's the kind of leader Canada needs, not some rich banker guy who looks at money charts while workers in Alberta lose jobs and food prices go through the roof. And here's the juicy part. The recounts started and oof, they were terrible from the Liberals' data sheets. Windsor-Tecumseh flipped after just 4 votes. Just 4 tiny marks changed the result, and Carney's plan took another big hit. Halton Hills, still being checked. Vancouver South, total disaster. Votes missing, names not matching. More problems than a broken snowblower in winter. Some envelopes were sealed with duct tape and hope. By now, Elections Canada was panicking, probably sweating more than a snowplow driver in July. Their official statement, minor problems. Yeah, and the Titanic just had a small leak. But here's what's even worse for Carney. This isn't just about recounts anymore. It's a full-blown crisis for the Liberal Party. Inside their campaign, people are freaking out. Leaked emails show MPs begging for help with public image. Staff are blaming each other. Why did we let Carney speak German at that rally? One said. Why did we pick a guy who barely lived in Canada? Yelled another. Because honestly, Mark Carney is not like us. He's not someone you'd see buying a snow shovel at Canadian Tire. He's the guy who pays someone from Europe to shovel snow for him. He's not your neighbor. He's not even your neighbor's money guy. He's the rich guy handling your neighbor's money in some faraway country. And he doesn't care if you can't buy eggs, as long as his climate change quotes go viral on LinkedIn. While Carney was talking about boring stuff at conferences, Pierre Poilievre was doing something amazing, talking to regular folks, listening to them, showing proof. When news reporters tried to trap him with tricky questions, he fought back with facts. You want to talk about democracy? He said, let's talk about all these early votes with no way to track them. You want leadership? I'm right here. Where's Carney? Probably in some fancy building in Brussels. And Mary Simon. Oh, she wasn't done yet. She made the biggest move in Canadian history, the kind that will be studied in school one day. She made a strong, clear announcement, not some boring, confusing government talk. Nope. A firm statement until the vote recounts and legal stuff are all finished. The current government is only temporary and no one's getting full control yet. In simple words, Carney, sit down. You're not in charge until we know these ballots weren't counted with an HA sketch. The Liberals were shocked. The NDP posted weird tweets about being fair. The Bloc, they just stared into space, thinking about having another vote to leave Canada. But the real story? Regular Canadians were fired up. Comments online blew up. Radio shows got crazy. Finally, someone's speaking up for us, people said. Finally, the rich people are being told no. Now, let's look at what's next. Either the recounts prove that Pierre really won, or we're going to have a whole new election. And if that happens, get ready. Pierre is going to win big like a curling star with a Red Bull in his hand. He's ready, focused, and wants to fix the money problems in this chilly country. Canadians are tired of being called bad people for wanting pipelines, tired of being blamed for inflation just for eating toast, tired of being ignored unless they live close to the CBC office. And in Pierre, they see a guy who doesn't back down, doesn't say fake stuff to please people, and doesn't listen to bankers who fly in private jets to talk about climate change. This isn't just a vote recount. It's a big moment of truth. And the best part, it's all happening right now. Mary Simon, the tough leader we didn't know we needed, is protecting the country. Pierre Poilievre, the leader people have been waiting for, is bringing everyone together. And Mark Carney, he's somewhere giving a boring speech to 3 reporters and a lost pigeon trying to say this whole mess is just a good learning moment. So, to all you people watching this, remember this is not over. The West is awake, the East is paying attention, and the middle, the often ignored middle, is about to shout louder than ever before. Canada isn't broken. It's just been run badly, and now the grown-ups are here. Get ready. The red wave is shrinking, the blue wave is growing, and deep in a Bay Street office, Mark Carney just spilled his almond milk coffee.